Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of my Dungeon Boss Is It Worth It series. Today we are going to be revisiting a previous topic. A couple of months ago I did a video on is it worth it to buy rune grab bags. At the time we kept seeing the things in-game all the time that said the quickest way to get runes is to buy rune grab bags, and I did a little video on it, and personally it didn't turn out to be a very good video. I had an issue with the recording. It stopped recording midway through. Didn't really get to show you the full effect of that particular process. Since then, we've gotten a little bit of an update on runes so far. So first off, as far as the shop goes, this was sent to everybody in a in-game mail outlining what the situation was. Notice how their rune improved. They did mention that they lowered the cost. Now it doesn't look like they lowered the cost to the untrained eye, but at first they did not have superior rune grab bags the last time around. They had greater rune bags, and they were $39.99 at that point. So it was a little bit pricey, and it ended up being almost a waste of my money in the long run, because it just wasn't that reliable of a purchase. Since then, they left a $40 purchase out there, but what they've done now is they've guaranteed all 5 of them are superior runes. All 5 of them are going to be 5 stars, and they're guaranteed the rarity is going to be at least rare, and you're guaranteed 1 legendary rune. So right off the bat, this seems like a much greater deal than what it was in the past. First off, we need to look at what we're actually getting when we choose to do these superior runes and with the minimum rare quality. So if we're going to get 5 of them, we already know from the last video that these runes are going to be 100% random. So at first glance, you have to determine, is it worth it for you to buy random runes? If you're already at level 70 like myself, and you have a good stock of runes and you have really good heroes, this may not be the best purchase for you, because you can't really target that one hero that says, you know what, I really need this rune for Grognog or for Igorok, or I'm trying to get a better attack rune for Shadowblade. If you're going into this purchase with the expectation that you're going to get a certain type of a rune, you're already doing it wrong. Now, the person who is at level 60, for example, and is just looking for some superiors to get a leg up in PvP, maybe start farming the boss island dungeons a little bit better, and all you're doing is saying, you know what, can I level up my team just a little bit better? This might be a good one for you, because you might get 5 decent runes that you can equip straight away, because at level 60 you probably don't have any superior runes that weren't already a quest option, or that you weren't able to craft, and you probably don't have a lot of crafting materials for superior runes. So let's back out a second here and look at the minimum rarity here. So those of you who have been in tune with tuning runes, you'll probably recognize that getting a rune that is both 5 stars and the middle of the road rarity is actually pretty low. This Vampiric here one is a 5-star rare rune, so it's an improved one, so obviously we can't compare that to superior. But just looking at these, most people when they tune, they don't get this level of rarity and 5 stars. A lot of times they'll quit early. You'll end up with something more like this here, where it's a superior one. It's rare, but it's only 2 stars. That's more in line what I would normally see. A lot of times what happens is, as you're tuning your rune, you're going to bypass that middle phase altogether, and you're likely to end up with more along something like this, where it goes past the rarity into heroic but stays at 3 stars, and then you tune some more and it ends up getting to be heroic and 4 stars, and then ultimately you end up tuning some more and you get a legendary, and it's either 4 star or 5 star. So already, based on what the rune grab bag purchase literal says, is we're guaranteed to get something higher than what we would normally get right off the bat as far as base crafting, which is already better than what we had in the past. Now the other thing to note as far as changes go, look at this rune here, improved resist rune. Absolute garbage. Even though this is a legendary rune, this is never going to get used. I'm actually wondering why I haven't even scrapped it yet. What they've done recently, let's take a look at battle runes. Most people don't craft battle runes because they didn't have the best stats on them. But if we look at what's on there now, attack, critical, and health, they removed the resist components from a lot of these runes, which already makes a lot of the runes a little bit more tempting to craft. But one thing I do want to point out right now, as of right now, they did not update the tuning mechanic. So don't just assume that, oh, they fixed battle runes, I'm going to go and make all these legendary ones now. While the battle runes are a little bit more attractive now, keep in mind that the tuning is still going to be a little bit fickle at best. So don't just assume that you're going to go in and craft a bunch of superiors and get all these legendary runes. Changes to the runes are going to be coming. So you may want to just hold on to your gems until you can guarantee that superior rune. I don't know when that's going to happen, but it is something that's in the works as far as crafting goes. And if you want to be able to guarantee a superior, or not a superior, but a legendary rune, you will ultimately be able to guarantee that. It'll cost you quite a bit more than what regular tuning might, but if you can guarantee a legendary rune, that's what most people are after. So with that said, knowing what a minimum 5-star quality rune can get us, just looking at one of these other ones here, see if I have anything that actually hits that level that I want. I don't know if I have any superiors. It's going to be similar to this one here. This is a rare superior. It's 2 stars, and this one gives us 220 attack. That's actually not too bad. If this was a 5-star rune, I'd expect a good maybe 400 attack out of that. If we just look at what the attack is on this one. That's a vampiric, so that's a bad example. Power rune, attack of 221, but it's also not leveled up. So you can see that we're going to get a good rune to start with. So the only downside at first glance to these rune grab bags now, there's 2 of them actually. One is cost. I've got to drop 40 bucks on this. So if you are lower in level, obviously 40 bucks will get you more points towards VIP, but if you're also lower in level, you're at the whim of whatever's available. You're not going to be able to purchase superior. You might not even be able to purchase greater runes. So keep that in mind. The other downside to this is there's absolutely nothing that tells us what we're going to get. I might get all dodge runes for all I know. I might get a bunch of precision ones that are just absolute trash. So going into this, my expectations are still fairly low. I'm excited about the guaranteed legendary because I know it's going to be a legendary 5-star. What I'm worried about is that it's going to be a legendary 5-star precision rune or something with an off color that I just don't need. So that's kind of the gambling aspect to it. But ultimately, I'm going through this to enlighten you as to the possibilities of what you're going to get, and also to up my VIP status just a little bit more. Get myself towards that VIP 10. So with that said, I think we're going to go ahead and make this purchase so you can see what it's like. In the interest of preserving the recording, I am going to be stopping the audio while I make the purchase, and then I'll start the recording back up again so I don't lose everything like I did last time. So I'm going to stop it right now, make the purchase, and then I'm going to start it back up again. Okay, I have just made the purchase here, so looking at the results here, it seems like kind of a mixed bag. I'm a little bit disappointed I didn't get any really nice blue runes or any really nice fire runes. What really bummed me out the most is that my legendary was this superior elusive, which is kind of what I was just saying. It's like, what if I get a legendary dodge, and I just don't want that. So we'll save that one for last. We'll evaluate these and determine from worst to best. And actually, taking a look at the rarity, we didn't get any heroics and we only got 1 legendary. So if you're expecting to go into this getting a bunch of legendaries or a bunch of heroics, that may not be the best attitude to start with. When they say minimum 5-star and rare quality, we got 5-star and rare quality. That's definitely the case here. So I got 2 precision runes, which I'm not overly thrilled about those. But I do like the destruction rune a little bit and the power rune. The power rune's probably going to be my best rune out of here. I wish that'd be the legendary. Let's take a look at the precision rune here first. Crit attack. That's actually a good precision rune, so we don't have junk stats on there. This would be good for a number of people, that, especially if they have low crit to start with. This is going to be a decent one. The other superior precision is crit, dodge, crit. It's the dodge trait that I don't like in the long run. I don't know who I would put this on, if anybody. Maybe somebody that just needs crit, but the dodge is kind of a turn off here. This might end up being a scrap for me, even though it's 5-star. Once I actually level these up, we'll actually see what they look like, and I'll actually I'm not going to do that on camera because if you've seen one rune, you've seen them all. The next one, in terms of what I think is going to be the next least best, is this destruction rune. It's got damage, crit. The plus damage is obviously good. When we level this one up, it's probably going to be a good 12 or 13% plus damage, if I had to guess. Those of you that are wondering where these actually stack up, I had been working on another video as far as percent damage versus attack. It never really came to fruition, but I'll tell you flat out, higher attack is always going to be better than percent damage. No questions asked. If you want to see my data and research for it, I can be happy to show you. I do still want to make the video on it, but even if you get plus 20% damage, a really high attack is still better than plus damage. So there are certain instances where plus damage obviously helps out, but as far as incrementally speaking, attack scales better than percent damage does. Alright, so the superior power rune is the one that I'm most looking forward to, because I can put this on a number of people. My first instinct is put it on Viperia, and we got attack, crit, and attack. I would have liked to see attack as the middle stat and not crit, but ultimately we're going to level this one up just so you can see what it amounts to, and then so you can see what sort of baseline stats you're going to get if you do end up getting some nice attack runes. So people that end up getting battle runes and power runes out of this grab bag, you are in for a treat. Even if they're not legendary runes, they're going to be great runes for you know, just getting started in PvP, or even just putting on some of your dungeon running teams. So now, this superior elusive rune is the one that was legendary. Like I said, I'm a little bit disappointed that this was the legendary one that I got, and that I didn't get any heroics, because I'm guessing this is going to be dodge heavy. And it is not cooperating with me here. Dodge, and health. So, yeah, this is... I don't know who I would put it on. I guess maybe somebody that wouldn't normally be dodgy. Might be a sneaky one to put on someone like Furnace, for example. But Furnace is meant to be attack as far as PvP goes. When we level this up at max, we'll actually level this one up completely too, so we can see how much the actual dodge goes up. Is it going to take us up into shifty range like Torchy, for example? Probably not, but we should get a pretty decent supply of dodge here. So it'll probably find a way, or you know, into PvP somewhere. It'll find a home on somebody, but I don't know who that's going to actually be. So there's the ones I received. We'll go in, we'll actually do a quick level up on the superior power, the superior elusive, so you can see what sort of baseline stats we got for these. Let's close out of here. And then hopefully we don't need too many Evo essences. I don't know why I went into my hero menu. Runes, nature. Superior power is right there. And so let's spend some of our millions of gold. So here's the bummer part. By not getting to heroic, it maxes out at level 20. So kind of a bummer there. We have plus 380 plus, we have plus 415, 20-ish attack. Not bad, not great. Obviously, if we could have taken this to level 30, this would be a really, really nice rune. And then we're going to look at that superior elusive. Number 1, even not leveled up. Here we go. Dodge percent chance goes up a lot slower than some of the other stats do, so don't expect this to be like max dodge. We get roughly 8% dodge. And then 633 health is actually pretty decent. But the dodge is basically the name of the game as far as this elusive rune goes. So that leaves us with one question then, And the question that's on everyone's mind, is it worth it to buy these new superior rune grab bags, or in some people's case, maybe the greater rune grab bags? Personally, based on what I got out of this, I was expecting to get 4 really decent, well-rounded runes to just put on some of my heroes for, like I said, dungeon running, maybe bump up some of my auto-run teams that don't have my best runes. I didn't feel like I got that out of this. Was it $40 worth? Based on the legendary rune I got, probably not so much. I felt like I got one good rune out of that, which was that superior power rune for the green one. So let's just say hypothetically that it was $8 per rune because it was $40 divided by 5. I basically lost a good $32 there. That was kind of a gamble. So similar to going into the casino and you throw a $20 and a $10 slot machine, you might get lucky, but it's likely you're going to lose your $20. And that's kind of how I felt here. I wasn't, like I said, my expectations were very low because I knew how random the runes were going to be. But when you look at all of the different possible runes out there that you could craft, there's Elusive on that one. There was no Elusive on this one. There was Elusive here. I mean, there's basically, Elusive was probably the one rune that I did not want, and I managed to pull it. So there's going to be 2, 4, 5 different types for each color. So there's going to be 5 times 5, 25. 3 of them are Elusive. So basically, a 22 out of 25 chance that I should have gotten legendary on really anything else besides that. I would have really loved to have a legendary power or a legendary bulwark, and I felt a little bit disappointed there. But again, that's there's a little bit of a gamble involved there. I feel like it's going to be better off for those people that are just at the point where they can get the superiors. So if you're looking in your shop right now and you have greater, watch your levels, and as soon as you level up, check that shop every single time. The very first time you have the ability to get superior runes, I think that's actually the single best time for you to buy it, because you probably don't have any superior runes at that point. That would be the perfect time to buy. Same if you are low enough where you only have improved and you're just transitioning into the greater. Keep an eye on your level and always look at that shop. The greater and guaranteeing those 5 stars and legendary, that's going to be a good purchase for you as well. My I don't know if it's an expert opinion, but my personal opinion is to not waste your money on improved or lesser runes. They're very easy to come by and they're not expensive to craft. So save your money for greater and superiors. And then from there, you can make the distinction if it's going to be worth it. Personally, for me, it was not. But like I said, depending on your level and what runes you have available to you, it may actually be worth it for you. So hopefully this was informative. If some of you were on the fence about buying stuff, maybe this was a little eye-opener for you. Maybe kind of shift you one way or the other, whether or not you actually want to pull the trigger on that purchase, or if you want to basically use that same amount of money for gems so you could craft one yourself. Probably would have been a better result, in my opinion. $40 can get you quite a bit of gems, certainly enough to craft a superior. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions, and then we'll address those as we get them. Otherwise, we will see you next time. Thanks.